Welcome back. You're still watching The World Today on Channels Television. Now, a British-led consortium has outlined its plans to land a robotic probe on the moon in 10 years' time. Its aim is to raise £500 million for the project from donations by the public. In return, donors would be able to have photos, texts, and their DNA included in a time capsule, which will be buried under the lunar surface. Lunar Mission 1 aims to survey the moon's south pole to see if a human base can be set up in the future. The plan has received the endorsement of a host of well-known scientists and organizations, which include Professor Brian Cox, the Astronomer Royal Lord Rees, and Professor Monica Grady of the Open University. David Iron, who is leading the project, said he was setting up the initiative because governments were increasingly finding it difficult to fund space missions. The team hopes to raise £600,000 using the international crowdfunding web service Kickstarter in the next 4 weeks to fund the initial phase of the project.
Well, we want to know how the moon formed and where the material came from, and we believe it came from the Earth. So we're going to be drilling down to nearly 100 meters below the surface of the moon. Never ever been done before. And in doing that, we'll be pulling up core samples of material that actually were formed 4.5 to 5 billion years ago. So it'll be a scientific opportunities that people who are part of our program will be able to do is to send digital memory, photographs, videos, life histories, CVs, whatever they want to. And in addition, they'll have the opportunity to send a human hair with the DNA digitized as part of the sample that's stored on the surface of the moon. That enables them to have their history and their DNA forever embodied on the moon for the next billion years, and you can't do that on the Earth.
So it started at 9 o'clock today, it goes on till 5 o'clock tonight, and then it carries on tomorrow as well with talks on the...
Well, traditionally, space programs are funded by national institutes, by space agencies like NASA and the European Space Agency, but of course funding for space is very limited these days. And so this is a new way, not of replacing that funding, but by bringing in additional funding to get additional space exploration funded. And of course, it's a way of fully involving the public.
And finally on the program, a religious girls' school in Rwanda, 13 years before the genocide of 1994, is the setting of a new play which premieres this week at Signature Theatre in New York. The Voice of America's Caroline Weaver tells us more.
Our Lady of Kibeho at Signature Theatre in New York is based on a real episode. In 1981, 3 young women at a Catholic boarding school in southern Rwanda began reporting visions of the Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ in Christian belief.
You just want attention, you silly, silly girl. You just want people to see you. See me. No, I want you to see her, Natalie. Oh, I wish you could see what I see. No, but I know her. She wants to embrace us with the greatest love.
The girls said Mary urged prayer and repentance by all the world to avert a terrible war, and in one terrifying vision showed Rwanda's rivers streaming with blood and bodies littering the ground. To many Rwandans later, it seemed as if that vision foretold the Rwandan genocide of 1994. Playwright Katori Hall said she was 13 when she first learned about it.
And I remember standing in front of the television in my bedroom in Memphis, Tennessee, and seeing all these brown bodies floating down the river. And I was just struck by it. That particular vision imprinted itself on my mind, and it stayed with me. I was like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? Why are these people who look like me floating down the river?
It wasn't until many years later, when she traveled to Rwanda, that she heard of the visions at Kibeho.
And I had always been wanting to write about that tumultuous, moment in history, and I was like, this is the perfect way, this is the perfect frame to do so. I didn't want to do the usual, during the genocide. I wanted to do something that was about the before.
The diocese is going to close Kibeho College. No. Yes, but I like it here.
The play's cast includes a number of actors who are first or second generation immigrants from African countries. Joaquina Kalukango, whose parents are from Angola, plays one of the visionary schoolgirls.
I just like the fact that it's before the genocide. You get to see the life in the community of these people before the littlest things. you get hints of the tension.
Calacango, who lost family members in the Angolan War, says acting in Our Lady of Cabejo helped to deepen her sense of what life demands.
You look at this play and you have to take a moment and with yourself and truly say, what are you going to do? What is your stance in the world? What do you believe? And what will be your standards, and what will you give, and will you show love? I think that's the beauty of this play. It allows you to confront those things head on.
Our Lady of Cabejo at New York Signature Theater runs through December 7th.
Well, that's the world today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Cynthia Are.